Hello everyone. Am I audible?
Hello, Sarah.
Hello ma'am.
Hello. Sarah, I have one question again.
Yeah, yeah.
Miss Rajeshwari Raj will read the CV of Dr. Kiroga, na?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
And he will be the first one to speak.
Yeah, Ajay sir has just changed the order. Yeah,
Yes.
so
Dr.
Sergio sir will
Kiroga.
be the first.
Yeah, Dr.
Hmm.
Kiroga will be the first, then Dr. Sinha, and I think the last one will be Dr. Basu.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome BK Sinha, sir. Welcome, sir.
Good evening, sir. Sir, your mic is off.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Ajay, sir.
हाँ, good
नमस्कार
evening
भाई.
everyone. Pranam sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Hello. Dr.
Hello,
Soumya
sir.
Srivastava.
Hello, sir. How
How
are
is it
you?
there in Patna now? How is the climate there in Patna?
A little bit cold, sir. Not that much.
Yeah, it is very nice to see that young people are joining hands and putting up a show like this. और सर आपकी तबीयत कैसी है? How are you?
ठीक है. अब तो जस्ट यूनिवर्सिटी से आए और जस्ट आए यूनिवर्सिटी टॉक चाय लिया और
Has Sergio joined? Sergio Ricardo has joined?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
As a
Okay.
technical officer of the
Yeah.
Vice Chancellor.
Sir, actually, Sergio, sir, hasn't joined yet.
He has not
Waiting
yet
for
joined.
him.
Okay.
No. We are waiting for him and Dr. Saikat also.
Acha, okay. From a different phone, you can make a call to them. You can make a WhatsApp call. They must be joining here. With Sergio, there can be a problem that maybe he's not able to connect the time, IST and Argentinian time.
But sir, actually, it's just right now that I have sent him the
Okay.
link. If you want, I'll call him.
Has he seen the message?
I'll just check, sir. I'll just check.
Yeah. You just check for the double blue tick, yeah. And Professor Yanki Lama from Purulia University, SKB University Purulia has also joined. Yesterday, she and her team had come to Sanjeevas College to visit the biogas department. So it's very kind of her to join.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Yanki.
And how the things are going on, Ajay ji?
Yeah, it's going on fairly well. How are you now? You had some trouble with your health a few months
Yes, I was having, but now it is
yeah,
okay.
yeah, that was the reason why we could not keep you on the loop for the conference we had organized in September.
Yes,
Yeah, but this year again we are organizing one international conference, and
Okay.
you will be taking a lead role in that.
Okay.
Now that you now that you are free from regular university services.
Yes, sir. That's true.
Yeah, once Sergio joined, we'll have to take care that we will focus, we'll do the proceedings in English because obviously he's from far away, and he never has been to this part, and he never knew about any Indian. So
Acha. Oh,
he had sent a video on aquaculture
Acha.
for display in the previous conference we had organized in September,
Acha.
and is very energetic and very active.
Good, good, good.
Well, if Sergio is finding difficult to join, then we can carry on. We can carry on with the proceedings.
Deshmukh sir has joined. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Arvind sir.
Good evening to all again.
Rajnandini from Patna University has also joined.
Oh, nice.
Jay sir, I have had a talk with Sergio sir, and he's coming.
Okay,
He'll be joining soon. We'll just wait for him for another couple of minutes, and we'll probably start.
Hello.
Yeah. In the meantime, we can.
I cannot hear you. I will join again.
Okay. Arvind Deshmukh sir is coming back. Yeah. He had some technical problems, so.
Now I can listen.
Okay. Nice. Arvind sir, your feeling on this webinar that the kids are organizing?
Yes, and I'm very happy that the next generation is more active than our generation.
Certainly, sir. Yeah, from the very beginning, I have this opinion that you trust your juniors and they will not let you
Yes.
down.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah. Definitely, it's our duty to support them.
Support them. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and
this is a learning process. We will learn things.
Yeah. And a new breed of teachers like Arunab Datta, Dr. Soumya Srivastava is also developing, and they're developing very fast, and they're very good teachers. So,
Okay.
So by the time I retire, I'm sure that the society will be in very safe hands.
Yes. And we want to educate the people regarding biotechnology and biodiversity. So our purpose will be served.
Certainly, sir. Your initiative that you took long back is showing up in Jharkhand also.
Yes, and I would
over
like
the last 2.5 years. Yeah, we have.
But I want to come personally to Jharkhand.
So this year we will organize one international conference.
Very nice. I will come.
Yeah, and we will host you, and we will keep you in our college guest house
Yeah.
I hope you love the place to be here. Sakat Basu has also joined. Welcome, Sakat. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Very nice to join you and look forward. Thank you so much for your warm invitation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So Sakat Basu is our third speaker. He's from
Okay.
Canada, and his
Saket
experience,
Basu
his
from Canada.
practical experience is terrific, and he has intense desire to help the young generation.
Very nice. So today I
Very
think there
good.
are two speakers, isn't it?
We have three speakers today.
Okay. Saket
Dr.
Basu.
Professor BK Sinha, and
Okay.
Dr. Sergio Ricardo Quiroga from Argentina.
Oh, yes. Very nice. Very nice.
Good morning, everyone.
Welcome, sir.
Yes.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening from India.
Yes.
And in Argentina, it is a good morning. Huh?
Oh,
Thank you so much.
yeah, for Argentina, it should be good morning. Good morning, Sergio.
10 o'clock.
So, what is the time there in Buenos Aires at the moment? Sergio, are you listening to me? You please unmute yourself.
You are muted. You are muted, sir. Unmute yourself. Please unmute.
Sergio,
Okay.
you're not. Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's okay.
Yes.
What is the time there, Sergio? What is the time there?
What is about my presentation?
No. What is the
What is
time
the
in the
time?
clock? What is the time in the
Time?
clock at the moment? It is
What is the
6 p.m.
time?
here.
It's 10 o'clock in San Luis, Argentina.
10
Okay,
o'clock.
it is 10 o'clock in the morning. So it is not inconvenient for you.
I think that there are 6 hours of difference to India, but I'm not sure.
It is 8 hours
think
difference.
now 8 hours.
8 hours difference, yeah. Okay, now that everybody has joined, over to the organizer, Sarah Sharif. Miss Sarah Sharif, please begin and set the ball rolling.
Yes, organizer can start.
They must be busy at the moment connecting the things. Is this program being recorded? Organizer? Are you recording this program?
So the program is
Yes, you can start now. Do you have any technical problem?
no, sir. Just she's coming. Just a minute, sir.
Okay. It's all right. It's all right. So totally we are more than 60 today.
Yeah, we are more than
Yes.
60.
Yes, and it's very nice. I'm very happy to see all young generation in biotechnology. And again, I will reiterate here that our HRD minister is always telling biotechnology has a tremendous scope in India.
Yes.
Biotechnology and biodiversity also. That is the same. So bio business is increasing fastly in India.
And particularly, sir, after this COVID spell, 3 years of COVID spell, the role
Correct.
of biotechnology has become more important and
Yes. Yes.
and more far-reaching. Yeah,
Correct. And a solution to many problems is only biotechnology.
yeah. For many problems, it's biotechnology.
Sustainable solution only biotechnology gives.
Yeah. One request to the organizers is that if you are to communicate between you over phone, don't use the device that you are using for this Google Meet, because every time somebody joined, somebody left, the same crisscrossing, this is a bit disturbing, isn't? So you can use another phone, another device to communicate.
Yeah. So there will
Hello,
not be
everyone.
interruption.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome,
Hello,
Sarasri.
everyone.
Yeah, over to
I'm
you.
extremely sorry, sir.
It's okay.
All right. Due to some network issues, my camera is getting off again and again, but that doesn't matter. I'll start.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I wish you all a very good evening, and I welcome you to this webinar, international webinar on National Birds Day, which is celebrated every year on 5th of January. The webinar is organized by St. Xavier's College, Ranchi, and the Internal Quality Assurance Cell in collaboration with the Microbiologist Society India, Jharkhand unit. I am Sara Sharif from the Undergraduate Department of Zoology, St. Xavier's College, Ranchi, and as the Joint Organizing Secretary, I am glad to introduce the Chief Organizing Secretary for this webinar, Mr. Sarat Suvrapine, Creative Operations Head of the Microbiologist Society, India. Welcome, sir. I would like to thank MBSI to have given me this opportunity to host this webinar. Hence, I would like to begin. But as we all know, no event can be expected to be successful without the blessings of our Almighty. And hence, I would like to invite Binay Tokno to take over and pray.
Hello everyone, this is Binay Topo from Management Department in Xavier's College. Let us bow our head and put ourselves in the holiness of God, the Creator.
Aryan, I'd like to interrupt you. Binay is already here, so let's allow him to do the same.
Okay.
Sorry.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Binay Topno. So let us bow our head and put ourselves in the holiness of God the Creator. Heavenly Father, thank you for all the blessings you have bestowed upon us. We are truly grateful for them. We thank you for this opportunity to gather us together in today's webinar. Bless each person present and keep them safe and protected. Guide us during the discussions. We are also grateful for all the guidance and support, as well as the knowledge and wisdom that you have showered upon us throughout the day. May this webinar confer learning and values to treasure, as it will open the mind, heart, and soul of every person present here with us. Dear Almighty and ever-loving God, we glorify and thank your name, and your presence continuously remind us of our faithfulness. May we humbly ask you to bestow upon our speakers of today with the greatest of inspiration, so that they may share the most of their knowledge to their respective topics. May we also absorb the invaluable knowledge, experiences, and put it into practice. Dear God, we ask you to bless everyone in charge, that they may be able to fulfill their tasks responsibly, that the objectives they have set may all be achieved. Your infinite blessing would mean the success of this webinar. May we be a living witness of your genuine love through the enactment of the knowledge acquired through this activity. May we ask the sound and success of this webinar as we lift this prayer in praise. Please bless us. Thank you.
Thank you, Binay, for the devout prayer. I would like to now invite Dr. Ajay Kumar Srivastav. Dear all, Sir is the Associate Professor and Head, Department of Botany, St. Xavier's College, Ranchi. He has been the former coordinator of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of St. Xavier's College, Ranchi. And Sir has also served as the State President of MBSI Jharkhand Unit. We welcome you, Sir. I request you to please come up and address the webinar as the convener of this session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for this opportunity. Uh, what an experience being with the young generation. Well, with regard to the topic today, welcoming everybody, yeah. With regard to the topic today, birds are very, very underrated creatures. We think bird as some object of beauty, it glorifies your environment kind of thing. No, birds are essential. They are health indicator of our society. Now, in newspaper, in magazines, you listen to, you hear, you read about migratory birds. They're important. They're important. Why are they important? And many of us do not have the answer. The fact is that birds, two birds, male, female, they come from Siberia to Ranchi, Jharkhand. Okay. And they stay around some water body and they mate, they breed, they produce 10 eggs, they produce 6 or 7 young birds, they grow up. Now, in the process, what do? They eat the seeds of lotus, nilambo, and other things. As a result, they keep the pond cleaning. So, the life of a pond, if left alone, is 6 or 7 years. In 6, 7 years, it can be filled up. But if the migratory birds keep coming, then the life of the pond will be indefinitely 60, 70, 100 years and will not need a lot of dredging every time. So what you need good water bodies. Is you make a system where migratory birds are coming and they are producing, and they are eating, they are cleaning naturally. So so important these birds are, and I'm very happy to share my ideas with the young generation on this International Birds Day. So welcome everybody, and without taking much time, over back to the organizers for further course of action. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are indeed very fortunate to have you as our guide and mentor, and we could not have expected anyone better than you because you have so much vast knowledge that we get to learn a lot from you, a lot. Thank you, sir. I would now like to request Ria Anand to come up and introduce the chairperson for the session, Dr. Soumya Srivastav. Over to you, Ria.
Thank you, Sarah. Greetings, everyone. I am Ria Anand, a first year BCom Honors student at St. Xavier's College, Ranchi, and it's a pleasure to virtually connect with you all in this webinar. Soumya Srivastava ma'am stands as a distinguished academic force, currently holding the position of assistant professor at Patna University. Armed with a PhD in botany from the University of Lucknow, her research journey has been marked by an unwavering commitment to understanding the intricate repercussions of arsenic on plant life, exploring the realms of metabolic, biochemical, and molecular dynamics. Before assuming her current role, Soumya ma'am served as a scientist at ICAR, where her contributions played a pivotal role in projects centered around soil and plant nutrients. Her academic prowess has not gone unnoticed, earning her prestigious accolades such as the Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan Teaching Excellence Award and the Eminent Women Scientist Award in 2023. Ma'am is more than just an academic. She actively contributes to the administrative landscape of Patna University, lending her expertise to committees and assuming responsibilities ranging from the IT cell to the research development cell. Beyond the confines of traditional academia, she plays a crucial role in shaping the future generation of scholars. She supervises PhD and MSc students, guiding them through the intricacies of their academic pursuits. Her impact extends to the global stage, as evidenced by her role as the organizing secretary of the International Conference on Advances in Life Science in partnership with COSET, Sam Houston State University, Texas, USA. In essence, Soumya Srivastava ma'am epitomizes the synergy between teaching, research, and administrative responsibilities. Her multidimensional contributions make her an influential figure in the academic landscape with a lasting impact on both her students and the broader scientific community. Thank you. Now over to you, ma'am. Please enlighten us with your words.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You're
Okay, thank you, Ria, for such an elaborate introduction. Thanks a lot. Good evening, everyone, and thank you, organizers of this webinar, that is Microbiology Society India and St. Xavier's College Ranchi, for giving me this wonderful opportunity and privilege to chair the session where three eminent personalities will deliver their addresses. Our guest of honor is Dr. Saikat K. Basu. Sir is Executive Research Director, PFS, Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. He will grace this international webinar through his talk on birds as pollinators. We have also with us two keynote speakers, Dr. B.K. Sinha from Ranchi, Jharkhand, and Dr. Sergio Ricardo Quiroga from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Dr. B.K. Sinha, who is currently also the technical officer of the Vice Chancellor of Ranchi University, will deliver his speech on human-avian conflict. And Dr. S.R. Quiroga will deliver his talk on environment and birds in Argentina. He is currently research coordinator of the Argentine Cultural Institute of Higher Education and professor of the Francisco Fortarello Chair. We look forward to hearing from such great personalities. 30 minutes have been allotted to each talk of keynote speaker and 10 minutes for question answer session, which will be handled by Ms. Ishani. I now request Ms. Rajeshwari Raj to brief the audience about Dr. S.R. Quiroga from Argentina, and then after we can have his lecture. Over to you, Ms. Rajeshwari Raj.
Good evening, everyone. This is Rajeshwari Raj, currently pursuing BCom Honours from St. Xavier's College. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with a great pleasure that we introduce our esteemed speaker, Dr. Sergio Ricardo Quiroga, who has master's degree in higher education. He directs the research department of the Argentine Cultural Institute of Higher Education in Argentina and is a professor at the ICL. He also directs the Francisco Fortarello Chair. He is a communicator and educator with two specializations in education and research. His interest lies in research. His interest lies in communication, culture, education, and environment. He has 100 articles on this subject in international journals, book chapters, and books. His last two books are titled Education Between Local and International Settings, Lambert, and The Foreigner, the Public, and the Circumstances, Elena. He is also a poet. So please welcome Dr. Sergio Ricardo Quiroga. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, dear colleagues, dear friends. Well, I see my presentation. Thank you very much for the presentation. Thank you for the invitation. I was very happy to participate in this special and prestigious conference. Well, my main field of study is the communication, the environment communication, the knowledge mobilization, and the social communication of things. Well, in this opportunity, I have a short presentation about the environment and birds in Argentina. This is in the screen the poem I write in Italian when I live in Roma, and study with Giuseppe Ragnetti, one of the students of the Francesco Fattorello, the theory of communication. Well, and this is, I live in San Luis province, Argentina, and it's a province of the center of Argentina, and this picture is about the Patagonia in Argentina. Well, environment we can understand as the surrounding or condition in which persons, animals, or plants lives or operates. My presentation will have these general themes or topics: environment and birds, what is importance, reason why birds are important for the planet, and some words about the Argentine environment and birds. The diversity, I'm sorry for my English first. Birds are also vital to ecosystems, both wild and those managed by humans. We depend on them for pest control, habitat maintenance, and plant pollination. The diversity and variety of bird forms in almost every habitat on the planet in a scientific marvel. They have incredibly light wings and hollow bones that help them fly. Birds also lay eggs which have a hard shells, and instead of teeth have a hard beak, often which right in size. Only 40 bird species out or more than 1,000 do not fly. This includes the penguin that use its wings by flippers to swings, and the ostrich that has grown so large that it's no longer needs to fly. 8 interesting ways birds are important to the planet. First, birds are an important part of ecosystems. A wide variety of birds of different size perform essential functions even with a single ecosystem. Smaller birds can eat seeds and nuts, and many of them fall to the forest floors where creatures below can access these nutrients. Second, birds help forest ecosystem by dispersing fungi. There are some species of birds, such as the Patagonic black-throated wagwag, that feed on mushrooms. And when these birds did up this fungus to it, they accumulate spores in their bodies, which they disperse through the forest as they travel. Third, birds are important pollinators. Hummingbirds and after flower visiting, birds are essential to plants and trees when they visit their flowers to drink nectar. They are attracted to bring colors and shapes, and the plants have adapted to provide steady perches for pollination, for pollinating birds. Birds deep into the flower to reach this sweet nectar, which is often the pollen adheres to their body. Fourth, birds spread nutrients in the ocean. Seabirds eat fish, crustaceans, and other marine creatures in the open ocean or near shores. These birds must return to land to rest and lay their eggs in nests, and during this time they will deposit the guano or droppings, usually on the rock, cliff, or soil in which they nest. Um, Five, birds protect important habitats like wetlands. Wild birds are vital in management of species that graze in wetlands, such as snails and peregrines. They hunt these species, which is in the absence of predation, will convert the wetland into marshes due to overgrazing. Six, birds are natural pest control. Worldwide, birds consume between 400 and 500 million tons of insects each year. This occurs within garden, forests, savannas, pavilions, towns, and cities. Birds disperse seeds, a primary food source for many birds. In these seeds and nuts that grow from plants and tree. When birds eat these foods, they play an important role in dispersing seeds to new areas. The birds deposit the seeds through its dropping, providing it with vital nutrients to help it grow. Finally, birds contribute to people happiness. Birds watching brings joy to millions of people around the world. This is the hobby of observing and identifying birds in their natural habitat. This encourages people to get outdoors and enjoy nature, boosting the economy as money is spent on tools and travel. Well, what is happening to birds around the world? Bird species around the world are declining in number. A recent report highlighted that even well researched bird species in the United States and Canada have declined by almost 30% over in the past 50 years. This is mainly due to habitat loss due to urbanization and the erosion of lands for agriculture. What can we do to help birds make outdoor space bear friendly? One of the best ways you can help a local bird species is to make outdoor space bear friendly. Help protect habitats. Habitat loss is one of the main reasons birds population and declining. Important habitats such as forests and wetland needs to be protected. Seabirds will benefit from the regulation of fishing and the introduction of more protected marine parks. Support clarity. It's important to support clarities that campaign to protect birds, such as the global organization. BirdLife, we should encourage government to protect wildlife, such as birds, set policies and regulation before important species are lost. Argentina environment and birds. Argentina is home to a rich diversity of birds with more than 100 species recorded. The country has a variety of habitat ranging from rainforests in the north to tundra in the south, which contributes to this diversity. Deforestation, agricultural expansion, and urbanization are significant threats to many bird species in Argentina, as they directly affect their natural habitats. Additionally, air and water pollution can also have a negative impact on bird population. In terms of conservation, Argentina has established numerous protected areas and nature reserves to preserve biodiversity, including bird However, the implementation and effectiveness of these measures may vary. Um, well, bears are of a wide variety, can be found throughout the world and have become an integral part of human culture. Its beautiful appearance and charming signs allow people to connect deeply with nature. Population of bears that historically inhabited central Argentina today reach Patagonia, moving up to uh, 1,000 and 300 kilometers as a consequence of climate change. In recent years, of about 100 species analyzed, 77% moved towards the south of the country, changing their behaviors and geographical distribution. On the Patagonia, the plateau change in wind and desertification affect the reproduction of the Maca tobiana. We can see in the slide, raising the sea levels and melting ice, and those are now effects of climate change. The Maca tobiano population has decreased by 80% in the last 25 years and could become extinct in the next decade. Since 2009, strategies have been successfully developed to seek to reverse the situation.
Sir, sorry to interrupt, but your slides are not moving.
Okay. Um, the conservation of the biodiversity and ecosystem service requires mitigation and adaptation measures. In Argentina, 35 of birds are migratory, like moon birds, what's not, that has traveled surprising distance. Bird migration is crucial to maintain ecosystem, controlling insects and dispersing seeds. In Argentina, the red knot and the red goose and threatened species. The area of environment, the national area of Environment and Sustainable Development works on the preservation of cowhens, combating poaching, and promoting reproductive success. The conservation of migratory birds not only indicates the health of environment, but also encourages international cooperation for their preservation. Finally, climate change is modifying the distribution of species. Um, Latitudinally towards the poles, so birds from the northern hemispheres tend to change their distribution northwards, and those from the south move even further south. But also change have occurred in the attitudinal disposition. That is, species that live in the plain or in low areas of mountain system have they tend to seek higher altitude. Edit in this to this are change links the migration, earlier reproductive cycles, and the lack of food for their offspring. This is my short presentation, and sorry for my English, and thank you very much for your attention. Thank you so much.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Sergio, for giving such a beautiful presentation. I'm sure my audience must have enjoyed this presentation and learned a lot from you. I would like to request you to please address some of the questions that our viewers might have. And I would like to request Ashani to take over and handle this Q&A session. Over to you, Ashani. Ashani, are you able to listen to me?
Sergio, there is one question from as a means 40 years ago I read about some Labrador hawks. Labrador is a part of Canada. It used to fly to the equator, then to Brazil, then to Argentina, and finally to the Falkland Islands. Falkland Islands is very close to Argentina, I suppose. Falkland Islands is far south of Argentina. So, have you seen any Labrador hawks? Actually, I want to know more about such migratory birds who migrate all the way from, they travel at least 10,000 kilometers from Canada to south of Argentine. Have you seen a bird like that? Sergio? Sergio, please unmute yourself.
Interesting question. Their college, Argentina is a big country. Not was clear the national policies in this area. The government not not think that is importance the environment and in special the birds in Argentina with found support. We in Argentina there are several climate, ice, savanna, rivers, mountain, and the geography is diverse. I can ask very clear your question, but I think that with the new government who was assumed in the past December, we get a new policy in this area, in this matter.
Sir, have you answered the question? Shall we move to the next question?
Yes.
All right. Sir, there's another question for you, sir. The question is, how do birds replace their feathers? I request you to please answer this question.
I think, Sarah, this question will be answered by the audience, and Professor B.K. Sinha is the better person who can do that. So, because he's more technical. Yeah, he's a world famous ornithologist. So, being very technical, this question may pass to Professor B.K. Sinha.
We'll save the question.
He can answer it during his lecture or after.
After the lecture.
Definitely, sir. All right, sir. No issues. All right. Is there any more questions from the audience? Please put up your questions. Okay, there's another question, Dr. Sergio, for you. Can you share examples of successful conservation projects aimed at saving bird species, and what lessons can we learn from these initiatives?
Um, to see. A ver, the conservation of biodiversity and ecosystem service requires mitigation and adaptation measures. Intentional mortality and inadequate management of seabirds that became trapped in fishing nets represent a threat and may interference with the detection of population effects related to fishing. Regarding conservation status, the grey-headed albatross is a danger of extinction, and the black-brown albatross and the southern giant petrel are the vulnerable category. I remember I don't know clearly the national politics in this area. The Argentina was important, difficult problems with the economic crisis, the inflation, the unemployment of the people. The government hasn't privileged the conservation of the area of birds, the national politic of natural environment. I don't know if I can explain correct this question.
It's all right, sir. Like I hope you have already answered the question, right? All right. Actually, there are no further questions for you, sir. I'd like to thank you for giving such amazing answers. It was really nice listening to your answers. It's very informative. Thank you, sir. I would like to move forward and hence call upon Sushmita Baski to introduce our second keynote speaker, Dr. B.K. Sinha. Over to you, Sushmita.
Thank you, Sarah, for inviting me. First of all, a very good evening to all of you present over here. Before I go ahead, let me introduce myself. So, my name is Sushmita Baski from Zoology Department, Semester 1, St. Xavier College, Ranchi. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure and we introduce our esteemed speaker, Dr. Braj Kishore Sinha sir, with a diverse and impressive educational background. His present position is Technical Officer to Vice Chancellor in Ranchi University, and he has pursued MSc, PhD, FTE, and many more. Throughout his professional journey, Sir has held various roles in each contributing to his vast knowledge and experience. From being a former head, University Department of Zoology, Ranchi University, he was also the principal of JN College Dhurwa Ranchi and HOD of Zoology Department in SS Memorial College, Ranchi. He has specialization in research on soil insects and ecological alien species, niche modeling, and many more. He also has publication about 40 in national and international journals. He has been awarded as a Lifetime Achievement Award in contributing to Zoological Society of India. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Susmita. And just I come to the presentation first. And I'm thankful to all of you, the organizers, the chairperson of today's webinar, international webinar on World Birds Day, and especially all the young generation, those who have organized this one nicely, this webinar. I thank you all and giving me this opportunity to uh, share some of my experiences with you people. So just give me a few seconds, minutes rather, just to uh, come to this presentation. What I was hearing from the Argentinian friend, that was a good experience. Yes, we are going to share it now. You will have to give me the permission from that side. It's not allowing me to share the screen, isn't it? So give me the permission for sharing the.
Shivansh, please see to the
Sir,
issue.
sir, you have the permission, sir. You can.
You are having the permission. It is from my side. Okay,
Yes,
just,
sir, you can share. You can share.
okay, just a minute. Just a minute. Must be set. No, I am unable to share the.
So, alternatively, you can do one thing. You can WhatsApp or mail. You can WhatsApp your
The whole
PPT
of the presentation,
and continue without the presentation.
Okay, no problem. I'm just
Because
sharing it
neither will
first.
make will share the
Yes, I'm
slides.
sharing it. I'm just a minute. Just what I'm sharing it. I'm sharing it. But just give me 2 minutes only.
I've sent it. Huh? I have sent the whole of the presentation. Huh? So,
All right, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Huh? Then you can start. Okay. Okay. Once more, I try presently now. Share windows. Safari is stopping it. Off. It's not allowing. Okay. So just today I will be talking about the human-avian conflict. So that is the topic of today's presentation. And most of the thing will be more common things that I would like to share. The theme of this National Birds Day is Right to Flight. The theme represents that flight of a bird, which symbolizes freedom. Bird means freedom. You fly in the sky. That is the unlimited zone for you where you can imagine, you can fly, imaginations. So that symbolizes fly, freedom, and that. So that is the theme of this year's. There is one two-liner. चहचहाती चंद चिड़ियों का बसर था पेड़ पर, मेरे घर एक पेड़ था और एक घर था पेड़ पर. With this two line I start. National Bird Day, as it has been shared by few people, that it is since 2002 it has been celebrating in America just before the this Christmas, and the people go for the count and all that, and afterwards this National Bird Day is being celebrated throughout the world, and it has become a phenomena rather to manage and maintain the birds. Birds have the issues that is mainly man-made, as the Argentinian friend Sergio was talking about. It's all man-made. Whether you talk of the deforestation or climate change.
Excuse me, sir. I'm very sorry to interrupt, but I'd just like to tell you that I have tried to share the screen for you. So if you'd like, then I'll be there to change the slides for you while you speak.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay. So you can change. You can come to the next slide.
All right, sir. Third slide. All right.
Third slide. You go to this. Then you can skip the fourth one and go fifth one.
Okay, sir.
Skip this one.
Skip. Okay.
So not going to the history, I just talked about. We skip this one also.
Okay, sir. This is the one.
One thing I would like to add over here, all the photographs you are seeing over here, that is photographed myself. I have photographed all these photographs, and that too from my balcony. So it is wonderful photographs of the birds. So you can enjoy these photographs also. Just for the knowledge of the other than the zoology people over here on this platform, I would like to say that the birds are warm-blooded animals, vertebrates of class Aves. And they have got two characteristic features. One, that is their body is covered with the feathers. As the question was asked earlier, whether how they shed off their, that is called as molting actually. And the forelimb is modified into wings. And third important thing is that their mouth is provided with a beak which is without teeth. So this is a very unique feature to the birds. They have got the shelled eggs, and the legs are scaly. That shows that they are having the precursor of, or they have originated from the reptilian stock. Next, please. The people who study the birds, about the birds, the science of birds is called as ornithology, and the person is known as ornithologist. On this day, we would like to remember and pay homage to Dr. Salim Ali, the Birdman of India. He was one of the biggest ornithologists of India, and we must remember him. He has given the different dimensions for conservation of the birds, and that's why he was called the Birdman. And I would like to share this one also, that in 1960, Salim Ali recommended the critically endangered great Indian bustard to be declared as a national bird of India. But our beautiful peacock, it was selected finally, and peacock was declared the national bird of India. As I've told you that the birds have evolved from the reptilian stock, and the Archaeopteryx lithographica is said to be the connecting link between the flying bird, because that is the glider between the dinosaur and the avian stock. But here we are going to discuss a little bit about the conflicts. So we have to understand the perception of the conflict between the wildlife or the bird, which is multidisciplinary and transdisciplinary. So we'll have to understand many of the dimensions of it. So this is very, very important to understand over here. As Sergio was talking about the ecosystem and all that, dear friends, ecosystem has got many components. Whether it is you talk about the food chain, you talk about the energy flow, and many more things. So functioning of the system is there, and we are the components of that system, a small fry in that system. Now, always whenever we think for the things, the human being comes into the center focus, because everything runs around us. So the ecosystem functioning and the services that is focused towards us. And that's why we identify the services, what we are getting from the ecosystem. So a functional ecosystem will recycle the materials. In short term, we can say the biogeochemical cycle. There is a flow of energy, the solar energy or other energies that is trapped into the system, and that runs the ecosystem. So there are many different types of ecosystems which runs, and ultimately become functional. The ecosystem become functional. And the services that we derive out of it, that is coming from the functional ecosystem, the different provisions that we get. That is food, fodder, forest, oxygen, productivity of the agriculture, medicines, and so on and so forth. And all these are regulated also. Our culture is woven around this one with the functions and the services. So many more things comes when we talk of the functional ecosystem, and each and every component of it is functioning. So finally, that gives the existence of the human being on the earth, that becomes a part of it if the ecosystem is functional. And that's why all these things becomes important. So next is what actually drives it. So many things are there which becomes the drivers. And as I told you, that the human being is in the center. Naturally, human becomes major driver for all these things, because development is there, growth is there, living condition is there. So the human being is the main driver, and all the disturbances that is coming out of it is because of the human being. So there are number of drivers in the ecosystem, and we intervene in them and we change it. So because of this change, the ecosystem get disturbed. And here from the other components, say for example, the wildlife, the avian fauna, and so on and so forth, the conflict comes into the picture. Next slide, please. So you will find in this picture two states of the ecosystem. One is a natural, not much disturbed one. So you will see it is very expanding and good in a condition where the indicator of environment is there in the center. That is functioning, ecosystem is functioning. It is providing you the ecosystem services. And then finally, ecosystem multifunctionality that encompasses everything. When it is going to be disturbed, then it is shrinking. And functionality that is coming, gradually going, services are shrinking, and services are diminishing. So that is the situation where the conflict starts. So IUCN has defined this one. What is this conflict actually? Struggle that emerge when the presence or behavior of wildlife poses an actual or perceived direct and recurring threat to human interests of needs, leading to disagreements between groups of people and negative impact on people or wildlife. This is the definition which has been given by the IUCN in 2023. So this definition simply implies that there is a conflict between the human being and the birds, human being and the animals, wildlife animals, the wildlife or the birds with the pet animals, domestic animals, and so forth. This becomes a very complex, as you see. Now, this is because of the shrinking habitat of theirs. They will try to get themselves established. They will try their food. They will try their habitat to be intact. But we encroach their habitat. And because of the encroachment of their habitat, there is tension on that side. And from there, the actual problem starts. In Jharkhand even, we have experienced the problem of the elephants. We have migratory elephants, they migrate, and we have blocked their path or route of migration at many points. All those points, whenever they again cross and things which come in their migratory path or route, they destroy the things. And these activities of theirs, sometimes they get hurted. Sometimes they enter into the houses of the people, destroy their house. Sometimes we have heard that in newspapers also this comes when the elephants migrate from Ranchi and all that. They cross the places of villages, many places, villages. They go into the house and they eat the rice and all that, which has been cooked by the local people. So this becomes a continuous interaction between the human and the wildlife. And this is increasing day by day because the things are the habitat of theirs is shrinking. So this is major problem. So some of the things which we can enumerate that the reason for the increasing human-wildlife conflict or birds or avian conflict, the major role is of deforestation and degradation of the forest. The habitat is fragmented. There is change in the land use pattern. There is urbanization. And this urbanization sometimes engulfs many of the areas, surrounding areas. So agglomeration creates, and finally, all those agglomeration actually engulfs many of the nearby zones habitat of the area. Another important thing is unplanned development. You can see these things in Ranchi itself, that many of the hillocks that has been occupied by the people, and new buildings have come up over there, which is a green area, green zone, that is the place for visit of the birds. But nowadays the concrete structures are there. Because of the concrete structures, the birds have to migrate, they have to go somewhere else. So these are the problems. Then, because this is expanding, their prey is also diminishing, and so on and so forth. Human population is naturally, as I gave you the example, the human population increase in the human population is another factor which is engulfing shrinking their habitat. Now, one has to pay the cost. Both sides pay the cost, as I told you in the example itself earlier, that crop damage, they do the crop damage, we damage them. There is, we injure them, we try to push them away. Likewise, there is casualty of the people, human being, casualty of the domestic animals. On the contrast, the wildlife also get. You must be here having one news of the leopard that entered into the Bombay some residential area. So people get horrified with that one, and they injure the wildlife. Similar situation is with the birds. Similar situation is with the snakes. And whenever you see the snake, immediately you want to kill it. Whether it is poisonous or non-poisonous, or you want to rehabilitate it. So this is the mindset also, that whatever we want, we will take it, but at the cost of the other. And the conflict is here. So you can see the drivers, actual drivers are, these are the, I have just prepared one slide. So what is the number of papers published on the internet, available on the internet, the wildlife conflict, human-wildlife conflict. So you will find that there is a climate change. That is the one of the reason. Cultural, policy, retaliatory killing and poaching, human disturbances measure, that is 27%. Then forage, prey availability, that is 24%. And proximity to the forest, that is 23%. So likewise, much of the research has been done on the human-wildlife conflict. And you see the picture that how much of the researchers have tried to find out what are the reasons, what are the drivers, why these conflicts are, and how it can be minimized. So this is a picture of the publication, research publication. So in other words, what type of, they do destruction of the crops, measure reason, attacks, injuries, deaths. So you find this one. So globally, there is research on conflicts. In India, we are also doing these researches going on. And on the basis of that, many of the corridors and all that, these things are being incorporated in the development projects. Basically, the conflict study, wildlife conflict study, is mainly based on the mammals, especially the large carnivores, ungulates, lagomorpha, and others. The birds are included in them. So birds are not in isolation. And that's why the studies are having the birds incorporated in the human-wildlife conflict. And that's why I'm all the time talking about the wildlife. That is the reason. In fact, the conservation of wild birds lies at the heart of many such conflicts linked to agricultural interests, forestry, hunting, fisheries, energy production, and public health, among others. So just to have some glimpses, you can have I have talked about the human-elephant conflict and the scenario in the Jharkhand. The other one, the story lies with the sparrow. The sparrow has almost, it is on the verge of, you can't see it nowadays. Very few sparrow can be seen. Domestic sparrow, the Passer domesticus especially. Because its habitat has been diminished. The houses are no more of that type which earlier it was. The apartments have been constructed. Towers are there where these small sparrow cannot live and lay their eggs and continue their species. And that's why they are in trouble. So we will have to see this one, how these sparrows or sparrow-like many of the birds, because you see they are good pollinators. They are the indicators of the environmental status. You can remember the period during the COVID. The environment was clean, quiet, calm. And at that point of time, many of the unseen birds were visible to us. That was amazing. So they are the indicators of the good health of the environment. The next important bird that comes into my mind, that is of vulture status. Nowadays, we have made the restaurants of the vulture just to revive their population. They are the important component of the ecosystem. They are the good scavengers, and without them, many of the things can't be done. Because in the biogeochemical cycle, their role is very, very important. And that's why restoration of these vultures are very important in the ecosystem. Now, there are many efforts being taken by many of the organizations. First of all, the NEAC, National Environmental Awareness Campaign, that is being carried over by the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, Government of India. They support the NGOs to organize seminars, workshops, awareness programs, and all that for the conservation of the birds and wildlife animals. Again, there is Bombay Natural History Society that is also doing the same job. Then another one is the Salim Ali Center for Ornithology and Natural History. Also, most of the NGOs are nowadays development. They try to do the thing, justify things. Now, in the project, especially in the developmental projects, these have been incorporated. In Jharkhand, Nature Conservation Society is working very nicely for the last 30 years or more. Then INTAC of Hazaribagh is doing well to do this one. Very recently, and their efforts are being taken by the Jharkhand people, and they are preparing a citizens report on bird. About 112 people are engaged in this exercise. I think many of them will be on this webinar also participating, and they must be the member of this citizens report. When I was in Dhanbad, there is a group of people called as Dhanbad Birders, and they have constituted a society also, IBPS, Indian Bird Photography Society. They are also doing very nice job, and they are doing this through the photographs and collecting the photographs of different, when they sight the birds and they collect it and contribute to the citizens report. Then Ranchi, there is one small organization also that is called as ICON, which is doing this job. Now, there are some conservation places because you have to protect the areas where these birds can come and remain over there, breed over there. Because earlier, Dr. Ajay was talking about the migratory birds, especially. So they have got two different zones, warm zones and cold zones. They come over here for breeding. So their breeding place has to be intact. And then their species can continue. And so the variety and the diversity of the avian fauna can be maintained. And for that, in the Jharkhand, Plamo Tiger Reserve is a very good one. Then Hazaribagh National Park, actually it is a sanctuary, but we generally call it as a national park. North Karnpura Valley, that is another important place. And Udua Lake Bird Sanctuary. These are important areas where the birds are being conserved, or their habitat is being conserved. And they are protected over there. Forests contain large number of wild birds that are ecologically specialized and extremely sensitive to habitat loss. This is very important. And that's why I'm emphasizing from the very beginning that forest management of the forest and maintenance of the forest is very important for the specialized birds. You cannot see many of the birds outside the forest. They will not come out. So if the forest is maintained, their number, their species will be maintained. So because they are very, very sensitive. And as you know, as Raju and many other people have just told about deforestation, pollution, and I'm also talking about, especially in the forest, if the cattle is introduced, that becomes devastating. So these things are to be taken care of. Again, the government is also taking efforts to manage this one, because ecosystem has to be managed. So national level human wildlife conservation management plan has been developed and it is being implemented. The second tier is of the state level human wildlife conservation management plans. Habitat improvement and restoration plans are there. Human behavior modifications. We are awareing people to understand this one. So the laws are being formulated like this. Capacity building awareness is there. Conflict resolutions are there. So the birds or the animals, they can be isolated places for them. So these efforts are being taken. Different legislations are being there, like the Project Tiger, Project Elephant, and so on and so forth. Protected areas have been developed. Now, another important thing which has been applied in the Northeast by the Northeastern Railway, that is applying the bee, Plan B, that is called as Plan B. So you plant the bees and they will ward off the things. So this is very important to understand. Then UP government has created a fund for them, how to manage this one. Odisha, they give the footballs, seed balls to the elephants, migratory elephants. So likewise, many of the efforts are being taken to manage and maintain the number and species of the birds and the wildlife. आज हम इसको कैसे सेलिब्रेट करें? I started with the things, or the day has to be celebrated. एक गुरैया मेरे मुंडेर पर आई, मैं अचंभित था, निहारूं या दाने दूं. This spells everything. इस सब चीज बता रहा है कि इसको हमको बचाना कैसे. The man-bird conflict, to understand this one, this is most important. Right? So this is the solution. Understand the conflict, mitigate it, response to the things, prevent it, make a policy, monitor the things. And then, thank you, save the wildlife. Every amazing bird, ranging from elegant songbird to imposing raptors, add a different color to the rich fabric of our ecosystem. Thank you very much. Thank you. Any question? I hope I have been in right time. The time awarded to me.
Yes, sir. The presentation was indeed beautiful. It was really good watching the slides. I think everybody must have enjoyed it a lot. It was very, very informative, and it felt like it should never end, but sadly, it's the end of the slides. I'd like to request Shani to please check the chat boxes and see if there's any questions for sir. Over to you, Shani. Well, sir, there are many compliments for you in the chat section that
Okay,
the
okay. Thank you to all.
presentation was, yeah,
Thank you to all.